Okay, so how do you think your lesson went yesterday?
Okay, when I think back on yesterday's lesson, I think most aspects of it went well, but there's some areas I noticed that I could have done differently and that she still needs to improve on.
Okay, so some areas went well, some things you think she needs to improve on. What are the things that you think she needs to improve on?
I made some notes here.
Okay.
So with the writing sort, she had trouble spelling the actual words. We've been sorting them by sound, by spelling pattern, but now she actually had to start spelling them by herself, and she had a hard time with that.
Right.
So that let me know that I'm going to have to definitely spend more time with her actually spelling out the words through writing. And the other area that I noticed was a little bit with her comprehension for visualizing. We did a graphic organizer, if you remember, with the
Right.
5 senses.
Right.
And she was very preoccupied with getting all the senses in every time she was visualizing. So I have to try and get her away from that a little bit.
Okay. So how do you think what will you do to get her away from doing all of those things?
Well, I tried today to remind her again that she doesn't need to have all the 5 senses in every time she visualizes. And then when I was modeling, I showed her also that I didn't use all the 5 senses when I was visualizing as well. I just pointed out the few that I actually used.
Okay, so modeling that, you only need to incorporate a few at a time.
Right, just keep reminding her.
Right. Were there any, specific spelling words she was having trouble with, or was it just a combination of...
She gets confused with spelling words that either end in a silent E or she wants to add an E to everything.
Okay.
So she's having trouble with the silent E.
And what have you been working with her on in spelling? Was it...
It was the consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, and consonant, vowel, consonant, silent E.
Okay. So did your lesson go as planned, or were there things that you had to change during it? Or did you...
During the writing sort, she was getting frustrated, so I stopped about halfway through the words, and I said we'd pick up with it later because I didn't want her to get too frustrated. But outside of that, I think... Oh, we didn't get to the read aloud at the end. We ran out of time because the writing took longer than I thought so. But outside of that, I pretty much stuck to the plan.
Stuck to the plan. Okay. Okay, so as you reflect on your goals, like for this lesson, the goals that you wanted to achieve, what can you say about her achievement of the goals? Do you think she achieved them, or...
When I look back at my objectives, in fluency, I think she definitely did achieve that goal. I put increased oral reading fluency through choral reading of familiar text. So we did do choral reading, and she was pretty good with that. She didn't really like it too much, though. I mean, she did well with it, but she was like, can I, read by myself this time? So I did, after a few times of choral reading, go back to her reading by herself, and she did like that. But I can think her fluency is definitely improving, at least at the pre-primer level. And for writing, I had continued brainstorming for a writing piece, and she did well with that. She likes using the graphic organizer that she chose, so yeah.
Okay, why do you think... Is there a reason why she doesn't like the choral reading, or is it just...
I think she just thought it was awkward that we were reading at the same time.
She just felt like uncomfortable reading together? Okay. So you said there wasn't really anything you had to change about your lesson. It pretty much went as planned. All right. So, well, I know you wanted me to look for wait time. So there were, as I watched your lesson, I did take some notes. So this is just what I observed. I thought you gave a good amount of wait time when she was sounding out like the title when you started the word ladder, and then you just prompted her by giving her a clue, you were trying to get her to say enemy, so you said opposite of friend. So I think you gave her enough wait time, and you could tell. I noticed she looks to you for guidance. When she doesn't know, you can see she'll look up at you, and so
Does it a lot.
Yeah. So I noticed that, and then I thought when she was trying to sound out opposite, and I could see how you were you guys were trying to chunk the word, but then I thought you just kind of jumped in and told her the word's opposite. I guess, sometimes that happens, you have to move on. But, and that was the same thing with the word bottom. She seemed stuck on it, and then, you kind of just told her the word was bottom. Let me see. Oh, and with you were trying to get her to figure out what's this noise that makes a sudden sound. I think it was pop or pow, or no, what was it? I think it was pop or something.
Pop,
Yeah. And I thought you gave her like plenty of wait time to that, and then again gave her like an example, like what do you think of when a firework goes off?
Yeah,
So
remember
that was good. And then the same thing with tap. You gave her like, I could see like, she was waiting, she was really thinking about it, trying to figure that word out, so you gave her a lot of time with that. And that was just what I noticed, so.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So I'll definitely for next time try and give her more wait time on the longer words that she struggles
Right.
with.
Right.
So.
All right, so I guess that's that. We'll meet for our next pre-conference
Okay,
next week.
sounds good.
All right.